Howdy, 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 and welcome back. What do I want to talk about today? It's going to be a short video only because it's an addendum to a previous video on getting the right sources of information. One of them I said was the expats forum, but I also recommend news sources. A lot of our news comes from Ecuadorian news sources, and the television, not my favorite thing. I do like some of the newspapers, but every single one of these should be taken with the same grain of salt you would take with a giant grain of salt with anything that has to do with news, because we all know that news / entertainment have become fused together, and that real journalism is often no longer available. That is my opinion. And if your opinion is different, then you're going to love this because it's all about journalists. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to list out some of the most useful ones, because if you're looking for what's going on in Ecuador on CNN, pretty much everything on there is junk. And why do I say that it's junk? I don't mean that it's untrue, that it's lies. It's just old. The information is old. It is undetailed. It does not have any of the real flavor of the situation. And Ecuadorian papers, so they'll give you lots of real flavor. It just may not all be 100% the correct one. But let's just get into it. The first one is El Universo, which is based here in Ecuador. It's kind of like the New York Times of Ecuador. And they've got a lot of information. If you don't speak Spanish, because this is all in Spanish, you can translate it. The translations are never 100% accurate, but you will get the gist of things. You'll be able to see which way each one of these news sources leans. The next one is Primicias. Primicias is another one, and I'm going to put links to all of these down in the description. It'll be super simple. I like Primicias. El Vocero. El Vocero is interesting because they don't have their own. Well, they do have their own website, but it's terrible. But what they do have is a Facebook presence that is quite good. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's boom, boom, boom. It does a good job. I think it does a good job. It tells a lot of things from a standpoint that maybe your regular person standpoint. El Diario, they have a website that's pretty good. La Hora, also a good website. And EcuaVIsa. I like EcuaVIsa a lot. I think they have a lot of good information on there. So those are just some newspapers. My recommendation is that if you are thinking of coming here, you should start just, cruising these at least once a week and seeing where things really are. Because if you ask CNN what's the security situation in Ecuador, it's super old. I mean, it's giving you information from 8 months ago, and 8 months ago is a decade here. So things can change really, really fast here, especially if you're looking at information about getting visas or what's the right government thing or how long can I stay in Ecuador for blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Most websites are months behind on that. And I'll do another video on where you can go and check and see what the real rules are, what the real laws are. Everybody's going to probably tell you, and I don't mean everybody, but I'm saying a lot of expats will tell you, you will never figure it out. You need a lawyer. Which, honestly, for a lot of people, it's probably the easiest way to do it. The easiest way to do it is to get a good lawyer that a whole bunch of expats say, hey, this person didn't screw me over. They were great. That's what you should probably do, because it's a lot of work. You got to do a lot of learning. You got to stay right on top of it. And you got to be ready to work within the system in Ecuador. So you got to work like an Ecuadorian sometimes. And some people just aren't good with that. So anyway, this is a short video. I'm going to put all these links down below, and you have a good one.